What's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Diddy, you are playing a game of chicken with the federal prosecutors. And baby, spoiler alert, you're probably gonna lose, but let's talk about this. If you guys don't know, Sean Diddy Combs, the judge made an announcement talking about, I'm sorry, the prosecutors made an announcement talking about some baby, we will reveal all your co-conspirators in March. Okay. Now I have a little inside check on who some of those co-conspirators might be. We're gonna get into that in a second, right? And everybody decided Diddy was gonna stay hiding, Diddy was gonna do this. But here's the thing: Diddy's team or sources close to his team are alleging that Diddy is sick of showing weakness. Diddy wants all the smoke. And he is coming out there like he's on some John Wick. Well, at least an evil John Wick. Who was John Wick's the person that was always his ops and was evil? And he's saying, baby, March, what you talking about? How about this? Bring it February 1st or February 7th. Diddy is demanding that they let that chopper sing in February, saying, come with it. I'm ready for everything. Now, this is very, very surprising to a lot of people, but legally it makes a lot of sense. However, I said this in the last video, this is the gamble of a lifetime for Diddy. Now, first of all, let's talk about those co-conspirators and the indictment, okay? Co-conspirators. Let's not forget that when we talk about this, there's a difference between doing something that is morally reprehensible and something that is just a crime. Somebody being at a freak off, yes, the way they are described, it seems like it's morally reprehensible. And not because of the group love aspect, but because of the lack of consent aspect, okay? But there's a lot of people that can say, listen, I was there, but that ninja rugged me too. I didn't know what I was doing. I just thought I was getting an Emmy, thought I was getting an Oscar, thought I was getting a Grammy. And now look at this. I'm shooby doobing on somebody I don't want to be shooby doobing on, right? That seems to be a lot of people who may be on the tapes and who prosecutors have questioned, right? That is something that they can use for defense. But as Tony Busby, Tyrone Blackburn, and Douglas Wigdor showed us, baby, ignorance is not defense. Because if you're involved in this effery, right? And if you were legally involved in this effery, well, guess what? It's already an issue with the public. And this will destroy your public reputation. Nobody wants their public reputation destroyed. So I just want to say that when we come out with the co-defendants, they are going to be people that actively participated either in transferring funds, accepting money, moving people, moving weight, the RICO charges. People are saying, unfortunately, Diddy's ego may have gotten his sons caught up in stuff. Remember when the prosecution was like his sons were aiding him and talking to third parties? They didn't say which son, but they said his family members. I assume that's his son, right? Unless it's Janice Combs. You never know. Was aiding him in talking to people that they said were in a RICO scheme trying to intimidate witnesses, in a RICO scheme trying to intimidate witnesses. So, where does that leave us? You guys, we might actually see a trial where all the male Combs, maybe minus Quincy, because oddly enough, even though it was Diddy's adopted son, Diddy didn't seem to put his name on anything or even put him in charge of anything. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way it looks, right? They're saying that Diddy's children, and by children, I mean the grown men, who Christian and Justin may be also named as co-defendants. Now, why is that so important? Because if they can name them as co-defendants, they are thinking that they might be Diddy, might give them more information so they can levy more charges against more people because Diddy doesn't want to see his children even do a day in jail. Now, I happen to think that Diddy is a selfish mofo. I do not know him. I base that upon information and belief based off his old stuff, even him getting his kids involved in it. All right. Now, when it comes to the Fed saying that they will drop the enterprise papers, if you guys don't know, enterprise papers are papers where when you Okay, so if you guys don't know, the enterprise letter, why is that so important? An enterprise letter, if you guys don't know, provides detailed notice of specific acts and conduct underlining the RICO charge. It includes specific objects of the conspiracy. So we're going to find out about the bank accounts, the money laundering, everything that they're accusing of, they're going to lay it out. There's also going to be dates, times, and places and participants involved in the racketeering acts. This letter is critical because it does clarify the scope of the allegations and enabling the defense to understand what they're up against. Now, here's the thing: Diddy already knows what he's up against because at the end of the day, the the feds are going around a cemetery testing different spots for bodies. Diddy knows where he buried everybody. All right. The prosecution wants to give this enterprise letter 8 weeks before trial, meaning March 7th. The defense, however, is like, nah, this is where it comes to Diddy wanting all the smoke. He wants it February 1st. Now, I know what you're saying. Why would you be fighting to get that letter earlier? Because here's the thing: the earlier he has it, the more time he has to make a defense. But I think they got Diddy dead to rights. However, they are hoping that by forcing the RICO letter, the enterprise letter that shows everything they're accusing him of, by getting that actually, I want to say, is it a month earlier? By getting that pretty much a month earlier, they short circuit the Fed's investigation. Because if they short circuit the investigation, that means that a lot of charges that they're still investigating, they won't have time to bring a strong case because, again, they are still investigating. Let's not forget that Diddy was supposed to be out for a while. They only brought him in because he was doing criminal stuff, but the investigation wasn't even half finished. So they're hoping by rushing to trial that the feds won't be able to throw that many charges at him. So even if he does lose, instead of doing life in prison, he's only going to have to do maybe 3 to 8 years in prison and then time off for good behavior. He might be out on the street in 3.5 years or even 1 year. I mean, I doubt that because there is a smack trafficking charge, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? Anyway, right? The prosecution is saying, okay, and it looks like it is going to be no later than March 7th, but we might actually get it February 4th. Who his codependents are, who his co-conspirators are, what is going on, okay? Now, let's not forget, the defense is arguing you need to do this now. And again, let's also not forget, while this is going on, the defense is showering the government with pretrial motions. The pretrial motions are actually slowing the government down because if they put in time to investigate and bring a case against this and the pretrial motion gets shut down, that was wasted manpower. It was wasted time. It was wasted everything. Okay. On top of that, the prosecution is arguing, yo, we shouldn't have to get this letter until the pre-trial motions are done. You guys are the ones rushing this through, but we're saying, well, wait till the pre-trial motions. And you're like, no, 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 just do everything. You're trying to make a mockery out of justice. Again, the prosecution is also saying that it's standard practice in the Southern District of New York where enterprise letters are typically released after pre-trial motions. So they're saying you don't get to have your cake and eat it too. You can't rush this trial, but then say it's going so quick, you need more time to prepare. This is the gamble that you took, right? Let's not forget the Rainier case that Diddy's team pointed out said that even if the case with a much longer timeline, 15 months from arrest to trial compared to 8 months here, the enterprise letter was due after all the pre-trial motions. And the prosecution is also claiming that Diddy's team is trying to have its cake and eat it too. I mentioned that by insisting on a speedy trial by May 5th, while also demanding disclosure on timelines designed for lengthier cases. Okay? It is a lot. Now, Diddy is arguing this is giving the prosecution an unfair advantage. It's not efficient for them. And they are citing precedents, right? Again, the Rainier case does not really apply. So, what is Diddy really doing? Diddy is really demanding that the government march to his beat of his drum. He's saying that he will have his cake and eat it too, and that everything is going to happen on his timeline, not the government's. I think the judge is going to rule in the prosecution's defense. I don't think there's much court precedence for this, but let's be real. At the end of the day, we know that even though people are saying March 7th for the government, if the judge grants this motion, we will know by February 1st who is going to be charged with Diddy. And the streets are saying, and by the streets, I mean me and a few other legal experts, are actually speculating that his kids, at least Justin and Christian, are going to be wrapped up in this. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I will keep you posted on this. I'm going to try to go live later to talk about it. We might do, let me know if you care if my camera's on or off, because I'm in a place with really bad cell phone service. But if you guys don't mind my camera being off, I can go live later and talk about this. Hit a 1 in the comments if you'd like me to go live later and actually talk about this in detail. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.